Your soul is inviting you to come to the truth of who you are. This whole life is about remembering who you are on that deep soul level, tapping into it, embracing it, expressing it, and having fun with it. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sylvia Salo and I help Lightworkers, starseeds, priestesses and leaders to remember who they are and to step into their highest potential and channel their gifts into a life they desire. And I want to talk about remembering who you are on that soul level. So much of everything that we do is about remembrance. When you think about it, your soul exists in that 5D time, on that soul time, where all those experiences and everything that your soul has ever experienced exists simultaneously. And you can tap into it. There is so much richness and wisdom. On your soul level, there aren't those mind-made restrictions, limitations, or limiting beliefs. Your soul is just collecting experiences through all those lifetimes. This is where you can start tapping into your gifts. This is where you can be channeling this wisdom and beautiful things from different lifetimes and bringing it into your life. On your soul timeline, all of it is available to you all the time. So you are not like a newbie who has to learn everything from the scratch. Your soul is very rich in experience, and it's there for you. How do you explain when you feel drawn to certain things since you are a child? Where does it come from? Maybe you've been always attracted to something that your family isn't interested in, and no one else was talking about it, and still it's there. How do you explain those dreams that you have deep inside of your heart, that you keep thinking about? Where do they come from? How do you explain those moments when you meet a soulmate and it's like you know them instantly and you continue where you left it off the last time? How do you explain when you start diving into something new that it goes so easily, like you've done it so many times? How do you explain when you are on the healing journey and you know how to heal yourself, at least in some aspect, in some regard? It feels like as if you've done it before. It's because you have. It's so much about remembering all of it. When you let go of all those ideas of who you should be and how your life should be, and you start like tapping into what naturally arises within you and always been there, you start to truly remember who you are. You start to channel it consciously into your life. For instance, if you have this desire to play a piano, and you even hear how to compose music, maybe it's there for you to bring you joy in this life. And each time you are playing, you just like feeling so close to who you truly are. There is that pure joy. We are supposed to be tapping into those experiences. You don't need to push yourself in some direction where you feel like it's a big no, like you shouldn't be there. Like it feels like being on this like wrong timeline. You don't need to do that. You just need to really give space and cultivate what is rising within you. Your soul always wants to expand. It always wants to have more experiences, and it wants to like tap into that richness of those so-called previous experiences that we had. It wants to continue its journey, evolving, educating itself, experiencing itself and life. And it wants to do it through you. And when you are tapped into your soul's energy, it really guides you. You become very magnetic because all of a sudden you are operating and moving alongside your own timeline. You are tapping into those things that you find meaningful, that bring you joy and richness. And the positive side effect of being connected to who you truly are is that you feel this beautiful space within you, a sense of spaciousness, peace, It's like my clients, when we do some exercise, they always say like, I feel so spacious. Some people say like, I feel my being has grown and it became so tall. It's like I can occupy more space, because the soul is here to occupy space. It's all about feeling spacious. Instead of contracting, it's the opposite. It wants to breathe. It wants to be spacious. It wants to expand. It wants to play. And so trust that there is all that wisdom within. And our task is just to guide the rest of our being into the direction of the soul. So maybe, there is the ego that thinks like it will rule the show, it wants to guide you somewhere else. Not because it's terrible and wants the worst for you, just because it's genuinely confused and maybe disconnected from the soul. So you need to align your ego with the soul. You need to let the soul guide the ego and all other aspects of your being, your emotions, your mind, your inner child, because the soul knows where you are headed. And so you don't need to try to be someone else. It's all about becoming who you truly are. And that takes time. It's not just a saying. You cannot know it just like in a matter of a day. It's a process. But trust that richness, wisdom and guidance that is already within you. And every time you feel this sense of spaciousness and peacefulness, stillness, clarity, you know that you are operating on your soul timeline. You know that you are tapped into that soul guidance. And whatever you are doing and the frequency with which you are doing it is an expression of who you truly are. That's the frequency, that's who you are. It's that richness and spaciousness, expansion that you are seeking. And by the way, if you are interested in diving deeper into that soul time, 5D time, and also how to work consciously with like stepping into that next version of yourself, because this is how that soul is always expanding, it's always calling you to the next version of you. I have masterclasses for both of those topics. I have a masterclass on 5D time on my website and another one called Become Your Highest Self. They go perfectly together. And if you like this video, please give it a like, share and subscribe. And I see you next time.